Good morning, people. Welcome to what's hopefully going to be a regular update from myself on the build of my van and the walk rounds of my van. Now, a lot of people have asked me when you're going to do a video of the walk round of the van, the trailer. This week I was going to start doing that. Unfortunately, Saturday had a little accident in the van. Front end has been damaged. Now, what we have now is 4 weeks until the first show. No, basically it's going to be 3 weeks Saturday until the first show, which is Wessex Truck Gathering. Now I'm hoping that we can repair the van in that time. So basically what I'm going to be doing now is a week by week build repair of that van. So this week obviously we've got to strip it, find out what we need and order everything we've got. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Let's strip it down. Let's find out what is wrong with it, what needs repairing, what needs replacing, and go from there. So let's go. Right, okay, so van stripped out. This week was meant to be quite a productive week. Lots of stuff is done ready for the van. So interior has been retrimmed. I was meant to be down seeing the pimp truck today, sorting seat covers out, and new designs, new material. Tomorrow I've got to go to Birmingham, so Wheelmania, put my new wheels up, and hopefully, now we've worked out kind of what is damaged on the van. So obviously we need a whole new rad pack, condenser pack, that whole front end. I ordered a crash bar, or went to order a crash bar, back order 7-10 days now, and obviously if I wait for that, it ain't gonna get done for Wessex. Good old eBay, found a whole rad pack, radiators, condensers, crash bar, everything like that in Bristol. So obviously on the way back tomorrow from Wheelmania, go pick that up from Bristol. Then got to go see my man Steve Burrow at the parts. We need to run through all the bits extra that I need, so the bumper, the grill and everything like that. Order that in. That then needs to go for paint, so I need to drop that up to R&R. Hopefully they can paint that. Yeah, it was going to be a good week, but obviously we're delayed now sorting this out. So let's go. We are in the Rocket, that is dispatch. We're going to go down, pick up roof linings. Let's turn that down, pick the roof lines up, see what they've turned out like. Alright, here we are at Total Trim Supplies, Total Trim Solutions. Let's hope the box fits in the back of the van. So back from Total Trim Solutions, and these boys, I tell you. Let's have a look at this. Sexy. So this is Milano dark grey 620. So we've got that. That's the rear roof lining, and then in there, front roof lining. Some little trims there and a top trim there for the dash, and a side trim down there. It's gonna be nice. I like it. Right, good morning everyone. It is Wednesday. It is 7:27, so we're a lot later leaving than I wanted to be. We've got to go Barn Street in Birmingham, drop some steelwork off, and then we're going to whiz over to Wheelmania. Hopefully, I've not had a confirmation email, but they said Wednesday, so hopefully wheels are done, pick them up, and then we've got to head on down to Bristol, pick up the Rad Pack, and then let's head home, see HiQ Tyres, get some tyres fit to new wheels, and then back over to see Borough, order some parts. Right, so pretty good day yesterday, done some miles. We were Newbury, into Oxford, over to Birmingham, down to Bristol, down to Honiton, back to Pottery, and then home. Picked up some good stuff. So, tyres, these were to go on the 17s that are on my van currently, but obviously that's not moving for a minute. So I grabbed them off of Dougal so they weren't in the way there. New wheels there from Wheelmania. And then at the back is that Rad Pack that I picked up. So, this is all the debris that I picked up off the floor from the accident. So yes, we've got that Rad Pack there. There are some bits, a bit along the top there. I might take it off and drop it off the paint. I might gloss black that. The brackets that come along here and up round, I might get them done gloss black. There's a tray here, one of these. This sits in underneath. Basically your grill, your bumper comes in here, and this obviously diverts all the air into the radiator. I might get that sprayed, because when you're looking through the bottom grill of the van, you can see it, and if it's gloss black, it's just going to be easier to clean. And then in here, little sneak peek, shall we have? Oh, well, that's all you're going to get. Need to get the tyres fit on that. Had them ceramic coated. Wheelmania basically said that they weren't ceramic coated until I picked on the morning I picked them up. They said it's got to be 24 hours minimum to guarantee the 7-year warranty before you fit tyres and stuff. So I've just kept them in the van. Hopefully, if I can get away early enough tomorrow, get down to Dougal's, get the Davanti tyres fitted onto it, see what they look like. I'm still umming and ahhing about the Davanti tyres. They're not, little focus, they're not as nice as these. Like the KO2 is an awesome tyre. Just don't do it in the size that I'm now going to. KO3s, they do the size, but they don't do white wall writing, which is what I want. So we're trying Davantis at the moment. Davantis aren't aggressive enough for what I want. I don't know. We either go to KO3 just with no white writing, or we could put AT3s on. They might do. Not as aggressive, but they might look a bit more aggressive than the Davantis. But we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. We'll pop them on and we'll have a look and we'll go from there. What I do need to do is on the van, obviously we've taken everything off. So somewhere in there is we've got a plug here. Obviously it lets the van know when the bonnet's shut. So I locked the van the other night, alarm kept going off, and the only thing I can think is because that's not connected. So for the meantime, I need to take it out of that, plug it in and just leave it in underneath the bonnet. And hopefully that'll stop the alarm bloody going off at night. Right, so, got the old one. Let's have a look at the lock. It looks like T30. That one. Good God. Alright, we'll get these undone in a minute. Alright, that's that one. That's longer than they need to be. Jeez. Alright, try and get this out. How the fuck does it come out? Up. It comes up. Cable and everything.
I'll do it one-handed. Come on. Alright, back around here, finally got that off. You can chuck that down with the rest of the fuck stuff. So, all we've got to do now, out of all this wiring loom, is find the right plug. Right. That's all PDC, sensor. Oh, could it be that one? Where's the end of that one gone? That one fits. I'm assuming it's the right one. I'll run through, make sure there's no other plugs the same, in case I've completely cocked it up. So yeah, it was the right plug. The way it works is on your bonnet latch, a little micro switch in there. So that little switch there, when the latch is undone, that's obviously in closed position, which lets you know bonnet's open. When your pin drops down into here, I put a screwdriver in there just to wedge it down to trick it and thinking. And then obviously the micro switch disengages. So we can chuck that one in there, close it down. Hopefully, I'll lock the van in a minute so then I can see whether it goes off now rather than at 2 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, hopefully that's that. Also, my Ledson lights that were in the bumper, they survived. They have survived, they still work. The only issue I do have is that bracket there snapped. Now, either they can, I need to see if they can supply the brackets on their own. It's aluminium, that's right on the joints. I don't think I can get it welded. Or I've just got to work out a different way of mounting them, whether I make some brackets to hold them. Theoretically I need to make one, or I'll get them off and see how scratched they are. If they're scratched and buggered, I'll just get 2 new ones I think and put them in there. But there we go guys, that is literally end of week 1. Got these beauties put on. I've got some inner arch liners to take out in the front, so I won't put them on quite yet. But yeah, hopefully these look nice. So next week we've got a bit of wiring to sort out, but then hopefully we can start putting some stuff back on the front. I have got the interior to put back in, got some wiring to do on the inside because we're going to add some extra bits on the outside at the top. So yeah, here we go.